Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi everyone, how are you today? This is Tracey Brown coming to you to do another psychic review on Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank. This is a bank that focuses on one sector of the financial population. So they focus on tech companies. They're a mostly deposit bank. And these tech companies bring in billions. And Silicon Valley Bank had their billions. And they made an announcement. I believe they made an announcement of a loss of $2 billion. I believe that's the amount. And that they were looking for a lender. And they said to their depositors, don't worry. Well, if you're in a tech company or the financial business more, if you're much more of a financier and not a tech company, you would have immediately taken out your money, immediately. You would not wait until they found the $2 billion. That is unacceptable. Also, because of the way the digital world moves, you could be solvent in an hour and in 5 hours have $0 in the bank, which is what happened to Silicon Valley Bank. Several people, upon the email that they got through, who were not only startup tech companies, right, but they were financiers and knew immediately this was a problematic announcement and took their money out. Those that were startup companies and just focused on the startup company and was laughing at everyone because they had 10 million in the bank because they came up with a creative solution on buying food or something, right? Didn't understand the ramification of this announcement. Understood that there was a problem, didn't understand the financial ramification and left their money. Those that left their money, those that took their money actually helped crash the bank. Those that did not respond right away to the problem after the bank crashed and left their money and then understood I'm screwed to the point where can I pay payroll? Those that left their money understood later that the FDIC, the Federal Reserve, took over. And if the Federal Reserve takes over, the Federal Reserve only guarantees $250,000 to tech companies that had 8 figures in their accounts, and it wasn't at $1 million. They had 8 figures of 4 million or more. One company has, from what I understand, announced that he had 10 million in the account. Another woman said she had 10 million in her account. And what they're going to offer them come Monday, today is Saturday, March 11th, what they're going to offer them come Monday is what is guaranteed to them when the federal insurance, deposit insurance takes over. And that is $250,000 from 10 million. Everything else could be a loss. And normally I would see if they would get their money back normally, but I already feel like they're not going to get their money back, or they have to fight to get their money back because there's still millions left in the account. But who knows how the FDC organizes all of that? Okay, if you have left 40 million and we need to give out 250,000, then we'll look at what's left over. But we have to pay our people and our salaries. That's the way I'm thinking. I could be very wrong. But I think if the FDIC has to get involved, that's just more money that they get to charge the losing bank, if there is money to charge, and there is still money in that bank. So at this stage of the game, the FDIC says, in order to come in, which is mandated at this point, we take over, and we're going to close the bank down and give out $250,000 for any of your depositors that you have here. We're then going to decide what it's going to take to financially deal with the situation, which means more money has to be divvied out somehow financially, and then pay the salaries of my FDIC auditors, by the way, which could take months, because we're not rushing now. We've already taken over. So now we're going to do everything the right way, because, by the way, we have to report this back to who? The president. So if we make this announcement, we know exactly the format that this is going to take. That's going to take months, might even take a couple of years. So am I going to see where these people are going to get back their monies? If you got 10 million in the bank, I have to say no. And depending upon what's left over, your company fails. Can you pay payroll? Most people can't pay payroll come Monday. There you have it. SVB said that they crashed because of high interest rates, which makes it very curious to me. Like, I don't understand the financial bouncy ball. I can't follow it, right? I'm not a money girl, right? I would be like everybody else using SVP, because that's where all the tech people went. If you're going to open up a startup company, go to SVP. Boom. They'll even give you loans. Boom. I'm not a money girl. All right? And at this stage of the game, when you follow the bouncy ball, where does the ball stop? Does it bounce over to regular banks? Because they want to announce to you that because SVB had a certain sector of the financial world, digital financial world, by the way, digital financial world. Let me explain again. This is part of the digital financial world. So it's if SVP is broken, what financial digital world is being affected? Is it cryptocurrency? Is cryptocurrency part of this problem? Because if it is that a plan to fail cryptocurrency so that the government has to have a tool in place to take over cryptocurrency? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm not a financier. I'm a ditzy psychic asking questions. I don't know what I'm talking about. But do you? I wonder. AI is exploding right now. ChatGPT is exploding right now. Who created those things? And do they need money to maintain And is this a bigger plan? I'm asking questions. I know we're still Uranus and Taurus. And I know the tech world is getting plummeted. Tech world is getting kicked in the ass. And y'all don't know what to do with this. Because all you know is tech. Never thought about spirituality. You're not thinking about what is it that you're making that could affect the world at large on a spiritual essence. Whatever. Maybe you're supposed to crash. Maybe some of you tech companies are building some bullshit type of innovative crap that could kill humans in a way where you're just taking away jobs. Like, I love your creativity, but are you really thinking about the end result of humanity? Are you? Maybe God doesn't like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Are the other banks going to get affected? Because the other banks say, really sucks to be SVP, SVB, because, they just focused on the tech world and da 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 and deposits only. And we're so much better than that. Like, we expanded our wealth management, blah, blah, blah. Did you really? Are you not going to be affected? How does one bank fall for you all to think? The minute they fell on Friday, 4% of the financial sector fell too. Don't be fooled. Y'all might want to be watching the stock markets right now. Is there a bigger problem here? I think there is. Okay. What are we looking at, people? Hi, Cookie. Hi, Vovo. How are you? Good health, Tracy. Hello. Hi, Sanjay. Hi, Infinite. Melissa, how are you, sweetie? Trickle effects. That's coming. Right. Hi. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Tracy. I hope you're doing well. I am. Today, when you get to the age of Bruno, you start measuring your days. And today, I'm in good form. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to open up an OnlyFans account soon, everybody. Just trying to get the right picture up. Will the other banks fall? Please, God, talk to me about Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, and all the other banks. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. Silicon Valley Bank are your business. They're your children. They're your love. They're your innovators. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. Let me see and say what you would like for me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name, I pray. Amen. 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 Okay, so with my eyes closed, I saw a fire. I saw a fire. And then it morphed into a peacock, but I think I know why it morphed into a peacock. I believe the fire first. And then I thought I saw a protective eye, which I can see how all of them can look very similar because the fire was in an angle, right? Point and an angle. And then the peacock which is also very similar shape. And then in that shape, I saw the protective eye, which is the shape of an eye if you take the eye and put it upright. Let's see. Life cycles, family, transformation, letting go, no restrictions, no fear. This is the aftermath. No, this is before the fire. If you know fires at all, which I do in California, what burns up very, very quickly, the reason why something burns very quickly is because of dry brush, right? So you want to get rid of the dry brush. So this is before, and this could be the fire right here, right? The birthing canal, right? So you want to clear things up before the fire comes. It's interesting, the life cycles, family transformation. I get grief, sadness, loss, and resurrection. There's a fire coming, thanks. Y'all can't escape this. What they are saying is a unique perspective for Silicon Valley, is something that the other companies have invested in as well. They're just not saying it out loud. It does come down to their wealth management, all right? And so because it comes down to their wealth management, they do have given capital to tech companies. They did not let Silicon Valley get all the money. Don't get it twisted. Yes, it's a unique program, but not such a unique program that banks didn't say we shouldn't do that because they're going to fail. What banks said was, we're not letting them have all of that money in the billions. Come over here and we will do better than them. But I don't understand if the interest rates is killing Silicon Valley. Why isn't the interest rates hurting other banks? Heartache and loss, it's just a matter of time. We should hear about it anywhere between 2 weeks and 2 months. Guys, banks will crumble. I don't know what the top 6 banks are. At least 2 will begin to have some major issues. At least 2. But I don't know what the top 6 banks are. They're all in bed together. They're all a family. Which is why I got this card and I couldn't understand it. Sacred journey, life cycles, family, transformation. They're all in bed together. One bank does not separate from another bank. They all know each other. They're all in bed together. Which I believe so much because you never see commercials on banks. You never see them competitive like the cell phone companies, right? The cell phone companies are, come over here and we'll buy you out from T-Mobile and we'll buy you out up to $600. Just bring your business to us. We know it's worth buying you out up to $600 because we know having you in our business makes us money. So leave T-Mobile as an example. I don't know what company is asking T-Mobile customers to believe, but you remember when it was this big and y'all did it. Y'all were like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving Sprint. Does Sprint still exist? I'm leaving Sprint because T-Mobile is offering me, a better deal. I'm out. The banks aren't like that. The banks aren't telling you, bring your little tiny deposits over here because that would be better for you. Because they know behind the scenes, they're all dealing with billion-dollar companies, particularly tech companies. So they're not going to lose them. And the way I see it, it's kind of like, let me tell you how I see it. Because SVP is a deposit-only company, right? They're not a regular bank, right? But if they're a deposit-only company, then they may have a payroll company who issues the payroll out of something like Wells Fargo, not out of SVP. So the payroll company says, well, we deal with Wells Fargo. So what we'll do is we'll look at your payroll, take out $300,000, but we will pay your company with Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo says to the payroll company, bet. What bank are you dealing with? SVP, bet. We like them. They're our friends. So you'll never see a Wells Fargo say to you, don't go with SVP. We can do better than SVP. They're not going to say that because they're already in bed with SVP. Thank you, Melissa. That's what I'm saying. They all come from the same branch. Look at the tree. Look at the tree. Look at the tree. This is 2008. This is since 2008, right? The hearts were down. Now the hearts are up. And they flourished. This is 2023. Maybe never to be the same again. Because Uranus and Taurus says somewhere in these tech company billion-dollar capital ventures, they are corrupt. Now, I don't know what corrupt means. I don't even want to look on the. It's a psychic. Do we need to look? Hold on. Let me check with my antennas. No, it's so corrupt, Tracy. Hold on. No, it's so corrupt that there could be people that. Hold on. That wouldn't even want to live. That's how corrupt this. Hold on. Let me check again. Maybe if I twist my locks a little, maybe I'll get better reception. Hold on. No, they're telling me I don't want to know. That's how dirty it is. Look at everybody mentioning the banks. Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, IS Bank, TD Banks, US Bank, Bank Corp, Capital One, PNC Bank. Y'all are laughing. Getting me in trouble. I did not name them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, did we ever talk about ever? Because I can never remember what readings I've done. Sometimes they get so convoluted with Real Housewives of something, which I'm really getting tired of. The fucking world is falling apart, and all we could do is talk about, Giselle. Listen to me. Did we ever talk about? I know I must have said it because I'm not crazy. I just didn't know why I said it. Did we ever talk about maybe not putting all your money in the bank? Did you ever talk about that? You might want to have some cash on hand at all times. Not that you're not going to get sucked in anyway, because they structured up our financial system to mandate that we work out of debit cards, and we work out of debit cards because they put our money digitally into our bank accounts. It's a system that when it fails and they decide to close it down, it's just closed down. The money is just gone. And then how do you buy food? And then how do you pay for rent? And then the triple effect. And then there's the screaming. And then there's the panic. And then there's mayhem. Oh, Renee says, thank you for the reading last night. Oh, you're so welcome, sweetie. You're so welcome. You were a pleasure to talk to, by the way. I've never had so much pleasure talking to someone. You were bright, bubbly, good news, bad news. You knew exactly what to do with the information I was giving you. So thank you. Sanji, thank you, sweetie. I honor any gifts. I honor. And I wish you guys could see what I do with my gifts. I keep saying I'm going to take a picture, and then I never do. But I'm going to take a picture because I really honor any gifts that you guys offer up. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Raina, you're quite welcome. All right, let's get back. They're all family. They all know each other. Sorry, guys. Right now, SVP is the star. They're all trying to find a way to not let you know how much trouble is going on in the banking industry. There is a man in the past and a man in the future, men, even though Secretary of Treasury Yellen is a female. They are going to make some announcements. These might be two different banks then. These might be two different banks. They are going to make some announcement of sovereignty, that they are sovereign. They're lying. They're lying. I get a 9 of cups, which is an offer. There is a bank right now, might be a pretty big bank, that might have to make a statement to let people know we're okay here. The minute somebody says we are okay, take your money out. You're not okay. So the media is going to say it like this. Banks say this is not a problem for them. That's the way the media is going to say it. If a CEO, male, comes out and says, we are not affected by what is happening to SVP, take your money out. Period. I don't know, sweetie. I don't know. Sometimes I could see a smaller bank being affected, but I'll check it. Take your money out. Now, I don't know where you're going to put your money. That's the thing, right? This isn't about the small people, right? This isn't about the everyday worker. This is about people that have companies that have to pay a payroll and then some. I'm talking to these people. But that doesn't mean that I can advise you where to put your money. Because if one major company says, don't worry about us, we're okay, we have nothing to do with SVP, that's an isolated incident. Do not believe that anything is an isolated incident. And if one of the bigger people say something, God help us, because they are lying. And the reason why they're saying it is because they need to secure something on their end. But it doesn't mean whatever they're securing is safe for you. The roost is coming home to eat, and I have to tell you, there will be no monies in the banks. Now, are we headed for a recession? Yes. Yes, we are headed for a recession. And so, unfortunately, Renee, I do believe that that involves credit unions because as a global, and when I say global, if we fail, so does the UK. If the UK fails, so does Canada. So there's just going to be this trickle down effect, domino effect globally. And if we fail, we will be in a recession. And if you notice, the United Kingdom is already failing at so many aspects that financially it would just make sense. We Americans tend not to display failings, but are failing anyways. I'll give you a good example. Before Bush took over office, before Bush gave the office to Obama, 6 months prior, we were in a recession. But because he did not call it, everyone acted like it wasn't so. But some people were treating their business as if they were in a recession. We are in a recession right now. It just hasn't been called. Hi, John. Okay, enjoy. Just because we're in a recession right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen. The announcement hasn't been made for you to see it. So, people are being sneaky, lying. Recession. Look at this card. This means something's coming. Look at it. So, I think what I would say to everyone more than anything is secure. And the recession could last for about 18 months, 2 years tops. So, secure. I don't know what to tell you. Make your own lettuce. Change your habits and your diet. Eating at a restaurant is not going to be the thing. In fact, it's going to be a thing of the past. I think Uranus and Taurus showed us already that, all the things Uranus and Taurus did, like shut down restaurants, there's a reason why they showed us that. All right. Modifying a portion control. I think a lot of this is going to make people stay at home, more stay at home, because there won't even be enough gas to pay for to get people to work. Major changes that we've already started. Like the COVID shutdown was just the beginning. Two years. But it also could take 4 years to really see a redevelopment, right? Like when there's a fire in California, it takes about 2 years to see the budding of green grass again. It takes about another 2 years to see it lush. So we could be 4 years in the making, but for right now, I'm going to say it's 2 years. And I heard something today that bothered me, right? I heard that Whole Foods imports all of their produce, particularly their produce from China. We're going to have a food issue in a minute because of what's happening at SVB. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? But remember, we had a shipping issue about a year and a half ago. It's just going to come up again. Who's going to have the money to pay China? Whole Foods won't if we aren't making the money we're supposed to be making. So you see how this trickle down is going to affect everything. You thought COVID affected everything? Wait. You heard that too, Infinite? Yes. Let me see if there's anything else I need to see. We will be full again in about 3 years. In about 3 years. So it's 2 years from the crash. And I don't know what the crash looks like. I know this is the wall breaking. SVP is the wall breaking. It's not the crash. All right. But you all are definitely going to say, remember we used to put money in banks? Again, I do believe that cryptocurrency is going to be the main form of communicating financially. There's just no uniform way to communicate with cryptocurrency, and that becomes the bigger issue. All right. But it's through this that the new currency will begin. Infinite goes, bean soups it is. Yes, Renee. Whole Food doesn't have fresh produce. Start supporting your local farmers, right? Even if you have to go visit them yourselves. All right. I was looking on Facebook, and one of the people that I follow, Hulu lady, got her own chickens. I don't think to eat them, but she gonna get eggs out of her chickens for sure. Who wants to eat meat anymore anyways? I am so not down for meat. Oh, oh, oh. I didn't mean to pull that deck, but I'm gonna read it. I thought I was doing a personal reading all of it. Sometimes I'm getting confused whether or not I'm in Zoom or whether or not I'm on YouTube, but I'll read it anyway. This is from the deck Angel Guidebook. Power and intention. When you align your intentions with the highest good and act with love and consideration, your power is intensified. When you draw this card, your angels are drawing close to remind you of this. You have the capacity to be a leader and a guide at this time, and you are being encouraged to align with love and the highest good so that you act from your heart. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the tech banking industry section. Often when your power arises within, we can find our egos getting louder, and this is because it wants us to be limited and to question or even stifle growth. Don't let this hold you back. Call in your angels and invite them to help you listen closely to the voice of your soul. Thanks. So that you could move forward powerfully and effectively in a loving way. I think what I'm trying to say here with the banks is that they have a capability of not letting the crash occur. They have the capability. They have the wherewithal, right? They are the banks. They are the system. They are the veins. They are the blood circulation. They are the lymph nodes. The banks are. And there might be a way, if they just sat down and really look at themselves, they can create solventry. But much like SVP, they couldn't figure it out. All they could see is a $2 billion loss and thought making that announcement was going to bring what in? $2 billion? Get out of here, weirdos. Now, all you people that are running around with Teslas, like all you tech people in your Colorado homes, in your Silicon Valley properties, what you gonna do? The rich will be poor. It's here. Jesus Christ. And all that came from a lack of love and consideration of others. All you all knew was me, 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 me. I've got a Tesla. I've got a beautiful home in Silicon Valley, in California, Santa Clara, California. And I don't care who's homeless in Los Angeles. It's not my problem. The rich will be poor. Yep. C'est la vie. Okay, I'm going to pick this card way over here. Hold on a second. Imagine being someone who has, $1 million. You think in Silicon Valley, the homes are like, 800,000? No, they're probably 2 million or more. And wondering where your next meal is coming from, right? Like the homeless had to in Los Angeles. We'll all be in the same level playing field. We'll all be at the soup kitchen. What you doing here? Oh, I used to own a tech company. Really? Wow. What do you do? I used to be a psychic. Wow. We'll meet up at the soup kitchen line. Well, Loft, if you take it so personally, then you're going to drive yourself crazy. I'm talking about the tech companies right now. I'm not talking about Aquarius. Stay focused. I'm talking about the tech companies right now. Is there going to be a financial problem all over the world, Aquarius? All over the world is going to be a problem. Doesn't mean everybody gets to suffer. It just means it's going to be some financial system going awry all over the world, and many people get affected. No, you're not thinking as a whole. You're thinking only about yourself. You're not thinking about the whole. The whole is there is going to be a financial crisis as a whole. Does it mean everyone will be affected? No. But I'm going to leave it open. I'm going to leave it open because what I see today in everyone's personal readings for the world, by the way, was for the month of March. I didn't see it for, 2 years down the line. You know what I mean? So be fair to me because I'm doing the best I can trying to help you all navigate your personal readings. And then being the only one forced to tell you about a financial crisis that's coming. Be fair to me. Maybe just listen without the whole panicking. Sometimes these readings are for you to prepare and work it out. And know that if you buy a house today, after I told you there's going to be a financial crisis, then that's on you. All I could do is help you and pray that you listen. Okay? Those tech workers do make tons of cash. Yeah, they do. I remember they was importing new grads from Canada, top universities, to work with them with moving perks. Yeah. They were throwing their monies over in India. They were throwing their monies in China just a few years ago before COVID. Yep. Look what Apple did, right? All those microchips, Apple went to China to have them built the microchips. It didn't dawn on them to make sure that they had a well-deserved system here in America, right? That doesn't serve China financially. But going over to, that doesn't serve America, right? Why should we pay our American people top dollar and give them benefits? We're not doing that. And then COVID hit, and China can't stop COVID, and they can't stop the gravity of COVID. COVID still ravages over there, right? And so, what does Apple do? Apple doesn't come back here. Still, Apple goes to India. Really? Wow. Wow, Apple. If I didn't need your damn phone, I would not invest in Apple right now. Wow. Still, you don't think that you should bring the microchip production here in America. Fine. Remember, you're a tech company. All right, upside down. Child eternal. Child eternal. Inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. What does that mean? To grow up and be responsible, if we're talking in terms of banks. Inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. Physical security. We're talking about banks. Grow up and be responsible. You know, maybe grow up and be responsible is all the money that's come in. Maybe it comes down to how much of the banks really cared about others. I don't know. I was never in a position of needing money from a bank as a gift. Maybe because if companies need money from a bank as a gift, and I mean as a gift, not as a loan, inability to grow up and be responsible, inability to grow up and be responsible. And maybe the banking source being used as an extreme dependency on others, right? For the banks to be physically secure. So they made us and others depend upon them so that they could be daddy, but in an extreme kind of way because daddy dies. I don't know. Am I making sense? I don't know. Be worried. Everybody. Look at it in a way where you can find security. And I don't know what that means. We can figure it out slowly, individually, Loft. We can figure it out slowly. Do you have anything to worry about today? I would say no. Tomorrow. Let's worry tomorrow. Child eternal upside down. Shadow shows up in, as an example, women as dependent on those who take charge of their physical security. A consistent inability to be relied on and to accept the aging process. Inability to grow up and accept responsibility. So are we coming down to the banks are going to fail, but neither the bank nor the government is going to take responsibility when it fails, it just fails. Is that what's happening here? I don't know. Do you guys understand it better than me? Anybody? You guys got a little quiet. I just want to see if you guys understand it like I'm trying to understand the final outcome, but I'm not getting it, actually. Can you guys see me? Oh, hell. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm back. Thank you for saying there was a black screen, B. Butler. Oh, my goodness. Can you guys understand the final outcome, upside down eternal? Does it make sense to you? Because I'm not a money girl. I'm a psychic. I'm not a money girl. Inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security, which is what a bank is for us. Shows up in women, but ignore that part. There's sometimes, I said this before, sometimes these books forget that the world was going to evolve. So shows up as dependency on those who take charge of their physical security. Shows up in dependency on those who take charge of their physical security. Consistent inability to be relied on and to accept the aging process. The aging process. Is the banking system antiquated? Is the way the banking system ran antiquated? Is that system, that running machine, is it antiquated? And is that why the banking industry has to collapse? Right? Do you get it? Does it have to collapse? Because that the train tracks of the banking system is old and can't sustain the new and the billions of dollars of tech company that they never thought for a second they need to reorganize banking. Yes, the banking system is old and racist. We know that, right? Okay, so the banking system is old and racist and never thought to change how the banking system was run because it worked well for what? The banks and the wealthy. And that's the problem that we're running into. This is not sustainable the way the bank has always been ran. That's true. Loft goes, remember they used us black people as credit only a few hundred years ago, just making stuff up as they go. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a form of karma, even. I don't know. All I know is that Uranus and Taurus is obliviating industries. Obliviating. And where there is corruption is where you will see Uranus show up. Where there is corruption. And we know that there is corruption in the banking system. We know this. So, with that being said, buckle up. But I'm definitely not going to say buttercup because there's nothing cute about this. Maybe the banking system has to fail. To be honest with you, it's been trying to fail since the 1940s. It's been trying to fail. It's been trying to give a message that it's not working. No one is figuring out how to create a better system. All you did was make it digital and trick the people because you tricked us into not believing that cash is valuable. How many times have we seen, we don't take pennies? We don't take pennies. How many times have you seen, well, if you don't have the actual cash, 62 cents, then we'll take 65, but we can't give it back to you because we don't have pennies. That's called corruption. So imagine when they do that in our face, what are they doing behind closed doors in the billions? I think the barter system is a thing that's coming up, and that's where cryptocurrency falls into bartering. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Again, it's not my world, so I don't even know what this is going to look like for my grandson. I don't know. But I know Uranus and Taurus is going to make it better for my grandson. And might I have to take the brunt of the financial pain? Maybe. But whatever's going on, it's been going on for too long. Also, Pluto in Aquarius. Now, if you want to know what's going to happen right now, look at the banking system. Look at the banking system around 1776. What were some financial changes around then? If new banking showed up around then, which I believe it would have had to, new banking has to show up now because we're in Pluto in Aquarius. What does that look like in a digital world is how you're supposed to view this. And is that a fight that is going to be resistant? Because whatever happens now, Uranus needs it to be clean. Taurus doesn't care. Not that Taurus aren't moral, but Taurus is like, don't fuck with my money. I don't care if it does come corrupt. Uranus says, let me teach you that you can have what you can have without turning the other eye. If I don't see it, I'm not involved. That's not Uranus. Uranus says, look at your money. Is it clean? Everyone. Okay. So we're going to have to look at what went on when America was created. What was the financial system then? And how much corruption was in that? You want to know how much corruption was in that? Chase Bank funded slave ships. So I wonder if the first bank that's going to say something about them being solvent and okay could be Chase Bank. Huh. Oh, well, there you go. Not the first bank. What was happening, 1791 was the first bank, which falls under 1776. Because Pluto is a 44-year existence. So for something to show up in 1791, then they would have had issues on money, which is why the first bank needed to be created in 1791. They would have had issues. Interesting, we're having issues at the beginning of Pluto in Aquarius on money. But this time it's not going to be a 2008. This time it's not going to be the stock market crash. This time, the change has to be permanent. Oh, and it financed the government. Interesting. These are all issues. Government's going to be involved. Banks are going to have new learning. We're going to have to see which big banks. I mean, Chase was around during the making of the new year, of the slave ships. And they still do that to this day. Wars are always a moneymaker, always. But every time that there is a war, there is poverty. So it's just interesting. It's a moneymaker, but who pays the piper? The peoples. All right, guys, we can go on with this forever. I never say this to anyone, but I am going to say do your homework. Do your homework, because it is about surviving. The other thing I'm going to say, it's not about surviving individually, right? It is about communicating with others and letting people know, you know, what's the best way to survive with the ongoing crisis, if you have the answers. Because some people might get better answers over others because of an emotional discipline that they have. All right, guys, antennas are down. Dag. I thought I would be 20 minutes, and every time I think that's a joke. Every time I like, it's going to be easy. We can do 20 minutes. We're going to get out. I love you, everyone. Thank you for putting up with me. If you want a reading with me, I still have openings today, 213-458-7408. I love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.